Whether it's traditional markets, whether it's crypto, whether it's macro, whether it's speculative, markets go through cycles of risk off and risk on at any given time. So within crypto, it's no different. And people buy Bitcoin in times of risk off. Times of risk on, this is what it looks like. So is this the start of an actual new alt season? How can we identify whether it's the start of a new alt season? And is there any more opportunities to start building on the Bullseye portfolio? There's one more that I've got my eye on. Let's dive in. And we're going to start with the portfolio. Remember, we need a strategy. We need a plan if you want success in crypto. So we've built the Crypto Bullseye portfolio, and I was hoping that we would be further down. I was hoping for another bearish month so I could build this portfolio and so I could get my average down on my entries from previous allocations. However, unfortunately, the markets do whatever the hell they want, and you have to take what the markets give at any point in time. So unfortunately, guys, this is mindset perspective. Unfortunately, I'm in profit on my Bullseye portfolio. The reason why I say unfortunate, because I want to build, I want opportunities at these lower levels. I'm not getting these opportunities at the moment because they've all ran. Over the last weekend, they've all ran 40, 50, 60%. They're gone. However, there's one that I've got my eye on. I'm going to show you very shortly. But first, how is it actually doing? So we've got $1,212.46. That's in profit. The P&L is looking at plus $64.09. What does that mean? What do I mean by they've all ran? It means that it's limited options for me to start building and start allocating. Don't worry, I've got one, guys. We'll be talking about that very shortly. Where can we keep on track of everything? Where can we build our community together? Where can we chat about our trades? Where can we chat about our charts? The free Discord group, guys. This is my Moon River trade. It's only new. We've got lots of things going on in there and lots of discussions, interesting topics, news. Got everything going on there. Be a part of the community. It's completely free. I'm inviting you now. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, guys. It really helps me out. Right, okay, that's the Discord group. That's the Discord group. I'm going to be adding one more to this portfolio very shortly. Let's do a quick analysis and rundown of how the market looks overall this week. Because you could see when I was talking last week about building, I was talking about building in fear. Now we've ran 40, 50, 60%. You'd be buying 40, 50, 60% higher, unfortunately. We're entering into the greed phase. On the back of that, we're entering into the greed phase. What does this mean, guys? People are getting more confidence in the market. Retail started coming into the market. People are interested. Does this mean it's actual alt season now? And I'm going to repeat that sentiment. Does it mean it's alt season now? How can we identify when alt season actually is? To identify when alt season is, we need to look at some other macro charts. We need to look at the big daddy in crypto, of course, Bitcoin. Why? Because it's got a fuckload more market cap than any other crypto combined. It's important. We need to look there first. What are the macro charts? The dominance of Bitcoin against the rest of the crypto market. That's another important sentiment. Something that needs to happen on Bitcoin dominance for us to get a true alt season. We need to look at the strength of the dollar and then the total crypto market cap, excluding the two market cap leaders, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So those are the charts that we're going to look at, and I'm going to be adding a new crypto to my portfolio today, and I'm going to show you what that is and why that is. Firstly, we're going through our rundown analysis to find out what needs to happen for us to get that true alt season. Bitcoin is actually creating a pattern at the moment. The pattern is a broadening, descending wedge. That's a bearish pattern. It doesn't mean it's going to be bearish, but that's a bearish pattern. The psychology behind it is we're putting in lower lows here, lower lows, and you're also putting in lower highs up here. The one bullish thing that's happened from this is our 38.2% Fibonacci retracement from its major swing. So we've hit the 38.2% retracement and we've had a big buy-up candle at this 38.2% retracement. That's been followed by a bullish engulfing and then another bullish engulfing before we're bulked up between the two moving averages, which is the 53-day moving average and the 23-day moving average. This is a 3-day chart. Each one of these candles represents 3 days of price action. So it's higher time frame. This is the building position. We're in a higher time frame, guys. Remember that. It takes a lot longer to play out in a higher time frame. However, the higher the time frame, the more that the levels stick. The more higher the time frame, the more eyes on the chart. The more eyes on the chart, the more buy and sell orders at the same levels. The more buy and sell orders at the same levels, the more reaction you get at that level. It's as simple as that, guys. These charts aren't random. It's people putting in buy and sell orders. Sometimes the buyers have got more volatility. Sometimes the buyers have got more power. Sometimes the bears, the sellers, have got more power. You need to identify at what point that you're a bull and at what point you're a bear. Because remember, guys, when you sell your crypto, you become a bear. So let me show you this from a psychology perspective. You can be a bull down here. You can have this big green candle and you can move to the top of this wedge. However, if you're using that as your take profit zone in order to accumulate back at this lower level here, what does that make you? You're a bear here. You're selling there. Does it mean it's bad? Does it mean you don't believe in crypto because you've sold something, because you're temporarily a bear? No, it doesn't, guys. No, it doesn't. It means you're sensible. It means you're taking capital off the table in order to be able to reallocate at a better level. Simple psychology, guys. You're not a bear. You're just a seller. Okay? Next thing that we're going to look at is the Bitcoin dominance. We've been in this ascending wedge now for 2.5 years, this ascending wedge pattern for 2.5 years. This is bearish. Is that good for crypto? Is that bad for crypto? So remember, the dominance of Bitcoin, as dominance rises and dominance rises, that means that Bitcoin is outperforming the rest of the crypto market as a whole. So over the past 2.5 years, since the crypto winter started, Bitcoin's been outperforming in this ascending wedge for 2.5 years. And we got a sniff of a drop down here. Got a sniff of a drop down here. We got a sniff of a drop down here. This is what's going to confirm alt season. Once we break and close below and take out these moving averages, the 53-day moving average and the 23-day moving average, you would expect price to come back down and test the 203-day moving average. And you'd expect to get some kind of reaction from that. That's 8.6%, 2% to the downside. Doesn't sound like much, 8.62%. When Bitcoin drops 8.62%, and then this dominance drops 8.62%, should I say, that's going to be your alt season, guys. That's going to be the start of your alt season. In the short term, we've got a bullish pennant. We've got a bullish pennant. We've got a break and a close above. Remember, this needs to be our fake out. We need a break and a close below for that to confirm that we've got a sniff of a start of alt season. When this happens, the volatility spike, when this happens, if you're not in your positions by then, you're probably going to miss out on 50, 60, 70, 80% of your position. So that's why it's important to plan. That's why it's important to prepare for alt season and not be a part of it whilst it's already in process. Next thing, the strength of the dollar. You can see the DXY, it's absolutely bled. We want a weak dollar. When we've got a weak dollar, that means that the people are losing confidence in the dollar and they're gaining more confidence in speculative assets. Crypto is a speculative asset. When markets are risk on, people are going to things like crypto. When markets are risk off, people go in things like dollar. So it's just a transition of wealth, a transition of wealth. When one bull market ends, another bull market begins. When we had the 2022 crypto winter, that's when the bull run of the dollar started. So the bull run of the dollar started, people started coming out of crypto into safer assets, which was the dollar, while we were going through downturn, we were going through recessions in the world and devaluation of currency. So unfortunately, people's mindset, guys, when they're devaluing the currency, when they're printing money, people are going into the dollar for some reason as the safe haven, and that'll continue for some time. Right, okay, the dollar, how strong is the dollar? We've come back down and we've hit and tested this previous swing low. That's an important low. If we break and close below there, you'd expect more of a downturn in the dollar. However, it's likely that we could potentially get a bounce here. Bounce here to come back and test the moving averages. That would bring a surge to the downside in crypto for the short term. That would be your pullback, guys. That's your simple pullback. As long as the pullback's shorter than the pump, then you're all right. Remember that. Remember that. Your P&L might be going down 10, 20%, but if it's pumped 60% and it goes down 20%, that is just a higher low in most cases. The next thing that we're going to look at is the total three. Right, we were creating an ascending wedge pattern on Bitcoin, which was bearish. We are creating a descending wedge pattern on the total three. This is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. We're in a descending wedge pattern, that's bullish. Once we break, close above, come back down, retest the top of this wedge pattern, and then put in that higher high, guys, that is going to be a good signal that we are going to confirm alt season. Once that happens, what you'll see is all these markets will start coinciding with each other and they'll start telling a picture. Once the total three breaks out, comes back down and retests, the DXY would have broken to the upside, retested its previous support as resistance, and then come back down. Bitcoin dominance would have dropped this pattern here and come back down. And then Bitcoin, we don't know what Bitcoin's going to do, but it's not going to perform as well as the rest of the altcoins. We know that. Right, okay, the one that I'm adding today and why, it's going to be Say, guys. The reason why is this big break here. I've seen this big break here. We've held above, we've closed above. Let me zoom in. We've held above and we've closed above. So I'm interested. I'm allocating $50 of Say into the portfolio today. What's the price? 0.3533. So I'm adding it in there today because we've come out, we've broke, we've come down, we've retested, and we've had a reaction from this retest. That's why I'm interested. How far away is that from the low? 74%. So it's a 74% move from the upside. From the downside, you're looking at 43% to the downside. Why I'm interested is because of the break, guys. It's because of the break. So how would I play this? If the price moved down here, broke, if we were wrong, the price would break this previous low here and come back down to test the bottom. If we come back down to test the bottom, then I'd be entering a second allocation at that point, hoping that that's going to hold. If it goes further down, I need to reanalyze and look at how I'm going to manage that going forward. And that's the plan, guys. Like I say, there's not as much that the market's given at the moment because the market's run 40, 50, 60, 70% in some cases. So this is the option that I'm adding today. I'm adding Say to the portfolio. I'm adding $50 to the portfolio. Don't forget, it helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Be a part of this community. And don't forget, check out that Discord. We've got loads going on there. And I'm going to do a video about Moon River. I'm in a Moon River trade at the moment. So subscribe to the channel and follow me on that Moon River trade. I'll be dropping a video later today. Take care of yourselves and goodbye from me.